Welcome everybody to the Inter Miami preseason recap. So we are going to talk about what happened in these games, what went wrong, what went right, and my honest thoughts about this. So, all right. So, what went right? Really, not much to say. Really, not much went right about this preseason. Right? I mean, the only thing that went right is we won just one game. That was against Hong Kong, 11, their all-star team, and we beat them 4-1 at 3 o'clock a.m., going into 4 o'clock a.m., and eventually 5 a.m., in which you saw the shorts. What went wrong? Well, a lot of things went wrong. First off, the global tour, preseason tour, what Inter Miami has came up with, it was meant to be a marketing opportunity because we had the legend players, like especially with Lionel Messi, in our side. So this tour is meant to see Messi and the Inter Miami team, and it was supposed to benefit him, supposed to benefit us, and it was supposed to benefit the MLS, Major League Soccer. Problem is, we played the games terribly. The games that we played like terrible. It was uninspiring. And because of this, we lost, I want to say we lost about 5 games. Let's see. So we lost against Dallas, that's 1. We lost against Al Hilal, that's 2. Al Nassr, that's 3. Vissel Kobe, that's 4. So maybe not 5, so 4. However, we draw 2 games. So 4 losses and 2 draws. And then we only won 1 game, like I just said. So if you add it all together, it's 1-4-2. Add them all up, you have 7. So you could say Inter Miami has pretty much played uninspiring soccer around the globe. Messi didn't score anything except for the Al Hilal, which was via penalty. So he only scored 1 goal throughout the preseason. Majority of the preseason was mainly for the younger guys to get the roster spot. And that was meant to be. That was supposed to be the American tradition. You go out there, impress your coach, play good enough soccer, and if you're really damn good, you make the team, right? That was meant to be. That is meant to be in the preseason things. This one is completely different because it is a global tour, preseason tour, to push the marketing towards Miami, Messi, and the MLS. Problem is, they play like terrible. They played awful all preseason. They just did. Now I know they're gonna say preseason does not matter, but then you had this problem of what went wrong. The injuries. We already have a couple of guys lost for a foreseeable future, and a big loss, and huge. I mean, that's such a huge loss. Ferreira's gone for the year because of the ACL tear. Excuse me. I mean, it was just it's just an awful injury, and he suffered this in the first game of the preseason. That was an El Salvador national team. It's terrible. It's terrible. It was terrible. And then the game after is Kramashi against FC Dallas, and that's another thing that went wrong. Is and then these tickets are so expensive for everybody, and then you add a scheduling. You add a part of the schedule where it's middle of the day in the midweek day. For theirs, it's like 5 o'clock, so barely anybody's getting out of work at that time, and you have a half-empty stadium of the Cotton Bowl. So I don't know. Miami only had 1 win throughout the preseason. That was against Hong Kong 11. Now, Vissel Kobe game, it was a tedious and a rough game. There was a couple times where I had a shut eye that I had to wake up quickly, realized I missed a minute of the action, but nobody did anything. So, and roughly the other teams just played flat out better. So And then what I didn't realize, as I thought it was over, as it could have been a draw, if they would have had a different conversation, but that went to penalties. And then we had a penalty on our graphs, had this penalty kick on our graphs, and then you give it to someone who is a midfield defender. And then to try to win us the game after Robert Taylor failing to score twice. Literally twice. The first time it was called an encroachment on the goalie. So he could do it again, and he just flat out freaking missed it. That could have been a different story. That could have easily won us the game right off then and there. But you gave it to somebody who was a midfield. Terrible coaching. I don't know, man. I don't know. The management of this is pretty unfluctuated. It's unstable to say the least. And then you had this shit show. What happens with Hong Kong 11? Messi did not play that game, and the fans were really pissed off. It got to the point where their government got involved on this. Now, that's really all I could say. You can look up the articles, because if I continue on, it might get political, and I do not do that. I don't bring up politics in any type of way. That is forbidden on my channel, any other channel. So it's all I can say is Messi did not play because of various reasons. They say it's a hamstring, but people were really pissed. Some even got the refunds because of the disappointment of not being able to see Messi, and it's a clusterfuck. It was a shit show. But Miami, without Messi, literally without Messi, won the game pretty good, 4-1. And then you got Vissel Kobe, which Messi did play. Al Nassr, Messi did play, but very late. Because Cristiano Ronaldo did not play because of injury. So what was the point of having Messi play the entire game, not going up against his greatest rival, and still Miami got slaughtered? One of the shots were actually shot from the half, not even before the midfield line, and they still make that score in. And then couple of games, that's like El Salvador, Al Nassr, it was a shutout loss, and El Salvador is a draw, which was a boring game, and then Al Nassr was just a horrible game to Miami. It was dreadful game to watch. Not much more to say. And then you got Newell's Old Boys, where the game ended in a draw, where a costly turnovers, and this is another thing what went wrong with this entire preseason. Inability to possess the soccer ball, and an inability to even keep it. It's what's hurting our team most as well. They keep countering the attack, and when they do counter it, they go into the attack mode, and then just like what happened last night, they end up scoring anyway. So the counters needs to stop. Otherwise, we're really going to get hurt in this regular season. So what went wrong? Injuries, inability to score, inability to possess the soccer ball, and pretty much let them counter the ball. That's the bad part. And the marketing did not work. It just did not work. So I'm very disappointed with this preseason tour. I don't think it was a good idea to begin with. And on top of all that, you lost Kramashi, Farias, done for the year. You might even lose Busquets for a foreseeable time too because of the injury against Vissel Kobe. It is such a huge risk to play in these type of environments. It really is. I didn't find this preseason enjoyable, to be quite honest with you. I did not find it enjoyable. I just thought it was meant to be a marketing opportunity, and it seems as though as the rest of the preseason, just get through it without getting our guys hurt. That could be the thing, right? But still, you got to at least put out some effort. And there was not a lot of effort from these teams. There was not a lot of effort. Maybe they're saving their strength for the regular season, which is coming in 5 days' time. As of right now, today is February 16th. Our first regular season game is against Real Salt Lake on Wednesday. That is our first ever matchup between those two teams. It is an 8 o'clock kickoff at Drive Pink Stadium. So thankfully they don't have to do any travel between now and then. But then after that game, they have to go. They do more traveling, and that's go out to the west, or wherever this video is pointing. Go out to the west to play against LA Galaxy, and then coming back east between their Florida rivals and scratch Florida rivals, their biggest rivals. This might be one of the biggest rivalries in MLS as we know it. I guess another good is Messi is healthy, so he can play in the regular season. But we need him big time, and this might hurt us in the long run too. This is the big questions that I have is: are the players going to be okay for the rest of the season regarding fatigue? Because this preseason global tour is already mentally, it already drains them to the point. So much travel around the globe. You go to Central America, then you come up to Texas, then you fly to Saudi Arabia, then you go to Hong Kong, then you go to Japan, and flying all the way back to Florida. That is roughly around 27,000 mile travel, and that's just in a span of 3 to 4 weeks. That's a lot for players to handle. Question is, can they be able to hold this on with the amount of fatigue that they might be able to endure? Because what's going to happen is players are going to be sore, they're going to get hurt, and when they get hurt, we're not going to push to the CONCACAF Championship, and especially making MLS playoffs. That is my big question. Well, and then what happens when that does happen, when we go to regular season, then you have the leg games between the winner of, what is it? I forgot. One of them was against one of them's Nashville and Club America. I don't know. I have to look at the CONCACAF tournament. But we have the Sweet 16 round. But again, this global preseason tour is going to, if not already did, put them down to the point of mentally exhausted, physically exhausted. You add the CONCACAF tournament in the mix of this in March. Mind you, March. And not to mention, they have to travel somewhere. If they travel to Mexico for a match, that's more traveling what they can handle. Personally, I hope they play against Nashville to not only beat them again, for say the least, but they stay in America. So that's not too much of a travel. So I don't know, man. I don't know. That's all I could say about this one. In a few days' time, we're going to talk about the regular season, and are we excited? Even with all this, I'm still pretty excited to watch this Inter Miami team. So we'll see what happens. All right. I would say that's going to do for this video, but something happens that it occurred to me yesterday. Was it yeah, it was yesterday. This is before the New Orleans Old Boys, and you know where I'm about to go with this. It seems as though as Miami might have broken the rules again with regarding the roster rules. They're spending a lot of money, and I think they might have overdone it again with the players. So they're left with an ultimatum, and the ultimatum might be is generate allocation money back into your team, or suffer the consequences, because you have too many players. You might have to get rid of some of your guys to get the allocation money back. Trade them for allocation money. Who knows? Who knows? If that were the case, who would you trade off? Personally, in my personal opinion, I would get rid of Sailor. To be honest, I would get rid of Ryan Sailor. I'll call him back. I would get rid of Sailor because I don't think he's a good fit. I'm sorry, he's just not. Or if you want to have an asset price, maybe Gene Multa. Maybe Multa. Because he is a darn good player, and he could help other teams, and that's a good trade-off. Loan him somewhere. We can get the money, or trade him for allocation money, or someone buy it off us. I don't know. I don't know how these marketing things work with that kind of transactions and businesses. What the MLS teams do, I don't know. We shall wait and see. But as of right now, that's where we stand. I hope to God MLS does not punish Miami again, because already we have been through a lot, and it's only our 5th season ever. Our first season was back at 20, and our second season was 21, 22, 23, and now 5th season, 24. And that's in 4 years of being in this league, and already we've been through a lot of trouble with the roster rules. We've been sanctioned. It is a shit show. It's a Miami's go. It's a dysfunctional franchise, to say the least. But hopefully Henderson knows what he's doing. Jorge Mas and David Beckham, all of them get together, make the right decision. I truly believe they can. I'll be shocked if they don't make the right decision, and we end up getting in trouble again, and that creates even more of a bad reputation with against us in the MLS, and as well as ourselves, because we need to win. We need to see some excitement in South Florida, and last summer was really the best time to do it. All that hype, and the hype paid off. And I was happy. It was one of my best nights ever. You saw the video. 102K viewers. It is absolutely amazing. Almost 103. That is it. My point here is, if you break the rules, you're not creating a good image for yourself. It's pretty simple. You take the punish. You either get punished or you do the right thing. I would advise to do the right thing, and we move on past this, so we do get ready for the regular season. No issues at all when we already have problems to begin with. So that's where I stand. Anyway, enough of my rambling, and that's the update with the roster things, bull crap. So in a few days' time, probably Tuesday, I have to see the schedule with the other teams, either Monday or Tuesday. I'm going to make a MLS season preview. I am excited to talk about the MLS season. That is where the matches most matter. So, guys, that's going to do it for this video. If you have enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe for content, because Miami TVG guys are back. And when he does, he'll be right there with your favorite entertainment you deserve. This is Miami TVG. Sign off, folks. Adios.